I feel that these 10 years, which I see from 2024 to 2034, are one of the fabulous years for India economy.
Yes.
And we all are going to witness this. Today, people are putting the lion,
Yeah.
manufactured in India, made in India, as a very proud emblem
Yes.
on their stalls. And there's a vast change. So no more there's a shame made in India.
Yeah.
So the people are accepting proudly made in India. In a position of leadership, but at the same time, you might go in your career at very high pace, but you need to have a mentor or a guru whom you look to.
Hello guys, welcome to PharmaNow. Today with us we have Mr. Vinayak Patankar. He has been with Borosil for 17 years and he is the director and CEO of Borosil Scientific. So let's hear it from him. Hello sir, welcome to PharmaNow.
Hello, good afternoon.
We are very eager to know about your experience in the industry. We want to learn from your experience. Please guide us through how your experience has been with the industry for such long time frame.
Wonderful. Shivam, thanks for asking this question because I've spent around 32 years totally in this particular industry, and I've been connected right from my earlier stage of my career with pharmaceutical industry, and this particular atmosphere of CPHI is connected to pharma to its core. And I've been witnessing, this might be my, I would say, 20th or 25th experience in CPHI.
25th CPH.
Yeah, so it might be, we started CPHI way back in our early days when it was not such a big event. But since then, I have been tracking this, and for many years, for whichever companies I was participating here. So I started my career with a company called Merck.
What?
It was
Merck Life Sciences.
Yeah, today Merck Life Sciences, but Merck earlier those days was a pharma company. It had two divisions, pharma and chemicals. So in pharmaceutical, they had all pharma formulations. Then there was a company called Millipore, again connected to pharma, connected to filtration, connected to pure water, everything a pharma requires. And now for last 17 years with Borosil. And Borosil, it's a pioneer in laboratory glassware.
Okay.
So, this 32 years have been a wonderful journey. And I've seen this particular industry grow like anything.
Yeah.
What pharma was 3 decades back and what pharma India is today, it's massive. The amount of exports what we do today as India is exponential. All the European customers, you would say, or the customers in US has a massive dependent on India. And this is a sunrise today, I would say. Looking post COVID now, if I talk about post COVID and the applications people are looking, India is a big country.
Right.
It has a massive talent pool. It has, you talk about resources, talk about sunlight, talk about water, talk about land, talk about people, quality of people. And today, last 2 years, we have been witnessing every exhibition we go abroad also, they want to have some manufacturing in India.
Right.
And situation, people are talking China +1, and they are looking at Indians in a different way because the ethical values of Indians is something different.
Yes.
Indians are seen to be more ethical than the other parts.
Right.
And that's why, this China +1 thing is coming. And I think Indian manufacturers are, looked in a different way. Indian quality standards are also improving day by day. Indians are accepting, the world standards very easily. They are adapting fast. So if you see a pharmaceutical company in India, and if you just see, I've also been to pharmaceutical company in the US.
Okay.
The standards are replica. Once you go inside a pharmaceutical company in India, you feel, and if you go in the same company abroad, you feel the same atmosphere.
Exactly. This.
So the quality standards, GMP standards, whatever, clean room standards, Indians have adapted so beautifully, and this brings out so many opportunities for we Indians. I feel that these 10 years, which I see from 2024 to 2034, are one of the fabulous years for India economy. And we all are going to witness this.
So sir, how far do you think we are from becoming the pharma capital of the globe?
I think we must be already on the way. If you see the dependency for active pharmaceutical ingredient, APIs they call
Right.
it.
Right.
The dependency on formulation, the dependency for injectables is very high. So people, in US and Europe, they don't have any other resource. They have India as a resource for manufacturing. So it's not very far. People are saying that we might be number 3 economy by 2030. Our current government is saying that, right?
Yeah.
So, economy from 3.5 trillion to economy of 7.5 trillion, and we become the number 3
Yeah.
players.
Yeah.
It might be US, followed by China, followed by us.
That's great.
So it's not very far.
Amazing, sir. Amazing. Now, throughout your long journey, we talked about the evolution of the industry that you
Yes.
have witnessed. Where do you see some scope for improvement in this industry?
See, now if you say we are replicating the American standards of manufacturing, the European standards of manufacturing.
Yeah.
The Indian manufacturers have realized that if they want to serve the world markets, they cannot compromise on quality. So last 5 to 10 years, I feel everybody is adopting and everybody is replicating the quality the world requires. So I don't have any complaints, because if Indian manufacturing, it might be family-owned companies, it might be multinationals, it might be Indian private sectors or government companies. Everybody is galloping to the standards. So ये day by day improvement हो रहा है, and I don't think there is a great gap between our quality and the quality offered by the world.
Okay.
Because I'll tell you, made in India 7 or 8 years back, made in India, people were not putting in on the stalls when we used to go for exhibition in Germany or in Russia or in US. But today people are putting the lion,
Yeah.
manufactured in India, make in India, as a very proud emblem
Yes.
on their stalls. And there's a vast change. So no more there's a shame ki made in India.
Yeah.
So the people are accepting proudly made in India.
It's a good thing that it is made in India
Yes, yes.
now. So, sir, we got a brief idea of your long journey. We want to know, throughout your experience, tell us about some memorable moments that you have had in your career, the moments that shaped your perception about the whole industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, always, when I was post-graduating in Mumbai, from Mumbai University with chemistry,
Okay.
I had no clue, how the outside world looks. And this is a small advice to all the youngsters. I must have joined a purchase department to start with. But soon I realized that sales department is the driver of the organization.
Okay.
So I got a rotation to sales. So within 4 or 5 years, I rotated myself to sales. And then once I joined sales, I also did a management from Wellington Institute. I post-graduated from Ramnarayan Roya, and then I went to Wellington. And the type of experiences which I got through, I worked in very diverse atmospheres. I sold laboratory consumables, then I sold capital equipments, and then I came into these strategic positions. I'm not an engineer by qualification. I'm an MSc chemistry followed by a management. But I dreamt those things. And every 2 or 3 years, I would say, I said I should be adding something to my portfolio in terms of experience. So starting with sales and marketing, then I started working on production, then I worked on logistics, then I worked on R&D. So the world is open space. You need to have that desire. And today, looking at all my experiences, that's why I had the Borosil scientific operations today, because we have 4 manufacturing locations, 1,700 people working with us, and 4 different product categories, which are absolutely different, though they go in the same type of customers. But whatever I have learned through, it came to my understanding now, because I went through that particular cycle, I could handle the position very successfully. So it all depends on what you learn on your job. Qualification is one portion.
Right.
That gets over very soon. But everything else is on the job. As you learn more, you get your interest also changes.
Qualification gets you through the door,
Yes.
but the rest of it,
It's on the job.
Yeah.
And how excited are you on the job? And every morning you get up, you feel that yes, today is a different day. I need to learn something new, and that takes you through.
So now it is not like it used to be. You're working in one particular domain of the company, and you keep advancing in that particular domain. Rather, if you have a varied experience in multiple domains,
Yes.
that gets you to places.
So absolutely, if people are looking at a position of a managing director, of a CEO, when you handle all the aspects of a company, your journey should be throughout in different departments, and you should be motivated always. So when I was a young chap, just 22, 23 years old, and when I joined an organization called Merck, that time that dream was induced in my brain. Okay, can I lead one organization at XD? Okay, I started dreaming, because I used to look, during that time, there was a German managing director
Okay.
in our company, who came from Germany, and he was there, and he was my role model.
Okay.
And he had a degree of economics. He was a master in economics, and he was handling this particular position. So that time it was so intense feeling ki, if I have to do this, what are the things? And things went on happening because I accepted the changes. It was not that only I will work in a single department. Wherever I got a chance, and I only worked with 3 companies, and all 3 companies were market leaders. There was Merck, we were market leaders in pharma and chemicals, then Millipore into filtration and related products, and Borosil, which is a market leader in laboratory glassware.
You got it. Understood.
And one more piece of advice, shifting jobs in 1 or 2 years does not make more sense.
Right.
You need to understand that job, to understand that industry. Around 6 to 7 years is required at one specific place.
Understood, sir. That is truly amazing. Now, as you grew in your career, you must have had to lead so many teams.
Yes.
Your team cooperation must have been a crucial part in your success. Then how do we look at leadership? What leadership advice do you have for someone who is just starting out their career?
Okay. Good question. See, starting out your career, first 4 or 5 years goes in learning your job.
Right.
What is corporate atmosphere? What are the do's and don'ts? Because what you do in your college, exactly different things you have to do when you start your career. And there are so many shocks which you absorb. Okay, so the first 4 or 5 years are absolutely learning. And slowly, steadily, you start getting small teams to handle. The greatest, then, there are so many training programs you go through. There are a lot of trainers in leadership management, in team handling, in motivational programs, and these are all your fillers, the things which you don't understand when you are a young chap. So these help you. Second thing is temperament. In life, temperament is very important for every position. For every position, there is a certain kind of temperament which you need to develop. There is one temperament which you originally have.
Right.
Okay, but in a corporate sector, as you have people working with you, you need to develop the temperament to handle teams, because every personality is different.
Right.
Every performer is a different performer. You come from a class where you go at a certain speed, and there are different people going at different speeds.
Yeah.
So, and every team member has his own peculiarity. And if you are able to relate that bond one to one, I think team handling is a wonderful job. And once you develop a good team, the happiness to work with that team is altogether different.
Yeah.
So if you get that kick, I have a team which supports me, I support them.
Yeah.
We are, there is an ambition which we have, and we help each other to achieve those ambitions, and that's how a team goes ahead. So wherever I have worked in whichever teams, I got the first team to lead when I was around 30 years old.
Okay.
So I started my job around 22 years. So first 6-7 years I was individual contributor, you can say. But then at the age of 30, I was fortunate to get a team, and my team size was overnight it was 50 people.
From 0 you went to 50.
Like 50 people. During that time, my director, he gave me an opportunity in Merck, and I became a zonal sales manager with 5 different teams and 10 members in each team, and 50 people came overnight.
Yeah.
But I was lucky that I got few training programs during then. How to become an effective manager, and this all started parallelly, and I absorbed the skills, and those were the times where I could understand. See, you also understand whether you're an extrovert or you're an introvert. Okay, whether you can run that extra mile to handle teams. So, and believe me, it's your individual ambition. If you get energized when you are with people, that is your biggest, qualification. There are some people who are scientists, who are energized when they are alone.
Yeah.
Okay, they like to do research. So that is a different kind of a personality altogether.
Introverted.
Yeah. And there's a personality when people get energized when they are in big groups.
Yeah.
So I believe that I was a person. My energy was created when I was in a big group, when I had people to interact, when I had some teams to guide them.
Right.
So this is how I started imagining myself. Yes, I would be in this position. Rightly, I realized it early in my life.
Right, sir. Now, I have to point out something. As we are leading teams,
Yes,
there is someone else leading us,
yes,
right? So the mentorship plays a crucial role.
yes,
And I remember you talking about your German
yes, yes,
CEO, and you were very much affected by him.
yes.
How do you think mentorship affects? How should a person choose their mentor?
Yeah.
And how should they mentor the next generation? We covered the mentoring next generation
Okay.
part. How should we be mentored?
Be mentored.
Yeah,
Very important because Guru ke bina vidya nahi.
right.
This is a very important thing. Shivaji Maharaj also has had his guru, Swami Samarth.
Yeah.
Okay, so handling a position of leadership, but at the same time, you might go in your career at very high pace, but you need to have a mentor or a guru who you look to, because every person at that level is alone.
Yes.
He has to get ideation, he has to get some advice whenever he's in a tight corner. And believe me, at any particular point of time, any position, people will come in situations where there is a tight corner. So mentor is very important, and you need to select your mentors. You cannot say, okay, now I've selected him. Mentors happen through your journey.
Right. Right.
You start looking at people around you, and suddenly you find some people who can really elevate you well. They might not be more experienced or age-wise more than you. They might be of same age also. Okay, and you cannot say that they are not. But it is a realization which you have. So I got few mentors earlier of my life, which fortunately were, and I looked at their temperament, the way they handled themselves in any situation. They were calm. These things attracted me towards them.
Okay.
See, one of the important things is that they were never panicky in any situation. Normally, at times you are caught in so many situations where you feel you're restless, you're panicky, and then you find someone, "Arey, ये situation में ये बंदा तो ठीक है." He handles them so well.
Yeah.
This, and then you get attracted to that person. Yes, there is some. I need to keep on talking with this person. A lot of positive vibes are coming. So you find your own mentors, right? It might be from your management college. Some of the professors, they are different. So you might find a mentor there, and mentor is, you have to find your mentor. The mentor is not going to find you.
Yeah.
Try to understand. You have to find your own guru and start. Because the greatest thing is, do you trust in anybody for you to get trained? That is the philosophy behind mentorship.
Yes.
अभी ये मेरा mentor है, मैं नहीं. You have to attach. You have to get attached. Like Ekalavya wanted Dronacharya to be his mentorship, but when Dronacharya refused, he built his statue. And he used to practice in front of his statue. And still he got the skills of the archery.
Yes.
So every point of time I got few mentors in work. Again, after one of my directors, he was a super personality, and the way he used to connect with people and the way he used to address people, that was his strong point.
Okay.
In Millipore also, I had one or two mentors, and now once I become a CEO, there is a CEO coaching which happens.
Okay.
So I found one or two people who coach me in terms of behavior. See, it's a CEO position is a temperament position.
Okay.
CEO position is not skill sets you have in terms of technical knowledge in this. The CEO position is, you have to find the right people, you have to make them, you have to incentivize them, you have to motivate them, you have to focus them towards the organizational goals.
Right.
And for that, you need to have an absolute temperament which is required for that position.
So one thing that you guys have to highlight is temperament is key.
Like Virat Kohli, I can give an example. If you're on the field, and if you have the right temperament, if you have 2 overs and 30 runs to make or 35 runs to make, if you know your temperament is right, you cannot get shaky. If there is a outswinger, there is an in cutter. If your temperament is right, you'll hit those right shots.
The pressure won't matter.
Absolutely, the pressure won't matter. So temperament, creates the atmosphere. And if you see all the star players today, the people with right temperament, they win the matches.
We'll take a note of that. Temperament is the key. Now that we have covered the leadership advice in such details, we have covered being mentored by, and we have also covered mentoring someone else and leading teams. Now I want to know more about Borosil.
Okay.
The company that you're leading right now, Borosil Scientific.
Yes.
What do you guys do? And what kind of products do you guys have?
Okay. So I'll give you a nice and small brief
Okay.
about Borosil. First, let me talk about Borosil as a group.
Uh-huh.
Borosil as a group, we have 3 companies.
Yeah.
One is into solar sheet glass. There's a photovoltaic cell and there's a glass above. So
Right.
we melt that glass, we make that glass. The photovoltaic cells makes solar energy to electricity. Simple. So that is one company called Borosil Renewables Limited. Second company is Borosil Limited, which is into consumer glassware.
Right.
Kitchen glass, kitchen appliances, microwave ovens,
Yeah.
what do you say, those vessels which you keep in microwaves. So Borosil is glass and a lot of kitchen related products. So that is Borosil Limited.
Okay.
And the third company which I head is Borosil Scientific Limited. So all three companies are listed companies on Mumbai Stock Exchange. Okay, you can follow what is the share price. They're very interesting companies. And Borosil Scientific, we have 4 business verticals. Our pioneering business vertical is laboratory glassware, which we started with way back in 1962.
1962. Okay.
It's a very old brand, Borosil. Then lately in last 10 years, we added 3 product categories because we wanted to increase our revenues, increase our offerings to the customer.
Right.
Because we predominantly offer our offerings to pharmaceutical customers, the research customers, the other industries where research and quality control labs are there. So we came into laboratory instrumentation. We have a factory in Pune which manufactures laboratory benchtop laboratory instrumentation. It might be a water bath, it might be a magnetic stirrer, it might be protein estimation, it might be a water handling gadget.
Okay.
So there are n number of products which are benchtop laboratory. Then we have pharmaceutical primary packaging, ampoules and vials where you fill injectables.
Right.
So that is the factory which we have in Nasik. And the last is process systems.
Okay.
There's a buzzword called process sciences today, which is into research. So there are lab reactors and all, where a scientist works on those things and gets his research work out. So these are process systems which chemical industry requires, pharma industry requires, defense industry requires. So these 4 product categories form Borosil Scientific.
Got it.
We have 4 manufacturing locations different. We have 4 different teams.
That's it.
Every ecology is different. And every we have the teams handling that particular thing. And all these 4 verticals are relevant to current economic situation in India. We are growing. We will be world required by the world for the products because the export markets are tremendous. The opportunity export is high, and our vision for next 5 years is very clear.
Okay.
So the coming 5 years, we want to grow from X to 2X.
You want to be double the size in next 5 years.
Yes. And so that's why the opportunities for newcomers, the opportunity for the young generation, we are also having the number of people we are recruiting every year is growing. We require good people to join us. There's enough space for Indian, science-oriented people to join us.
Okay.
It might be pure science, it might be engineering, it might be biotechnology. So we are opening up. We also have a lot of campus interviews done for typically those sites. It might be Pune, it might be Baroda, it might be Bharuch, it might be Nasik.
So you're hiring a lot of people.
Yeah, we are hiring good number of people.
That's amazing. So we are growing towards the pharma capital that we talked about, India being a pharma capital, and that is how you are contributing into that whole thing.
Yes.
Amazing, sir. I think we have covered pretty much everything. It was very nice talking to you. We got to learn a lot.
Thank you.
We got to know about leadership. We mainly got to learn about the temperament that is required to lead teams. And thank you for all the insights that you have gained that you shared all these insights that you have gained through 32 years of your career. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Thanks.